Morning, morning. I am at the Wolf Rock unit down here in Batson. Just parked the car up and I am off to Dartmouth on an Iron 707 powered by a 250 Suzuki, which I'm really looking forward to spending some time on. But the reason we're going to Dartmouth is to meet up with Brad and then come back in convoy on a customer's Eagle 8, which is being serviced today. So we're going to talk a little bit about servicing. We're going to have a look at the Eagle 8. It's the new upholstery version of the Brig Eagle 8, as well as having a look at the Iron 707. So come with me, let's go jump onto the Smart Wave, we'll head around to the boat, and then we'll take you to Dartmouth. Come with me. It's always so nice to head away from the slip in Batson to go and grab one of the epic boats that the Wolf Rock usually have on the water for demos. And today the boat is the 707 Iron with that 250 on the back. Great to set up the Garmins and get ourselves pointing in the direction of Dartmouth, pop some fuel in at the fuel barge, and then point the nose out of Salcombe Harbour, turn left and head across to find Brad. It really doesn't get old on an Iron. So there we go, we are now coming in to Dartmouth and it is just such a wonderful day. It's so sunny, not very much wind. I think we're going to have a lovely run on the way back. It's taken us probably half an hour to get here in this Iron 707 with that 250 Suzuki on the back. This really is a very lovely, comfortable boat. Cruising at 35 knots, absolutely no problems whatsoever. I'm sure you could get her up into 46 or so knots. We weren't doing that on the way down. Just nice and comfy, 35 knot cruising speed, and it's got us here nice and safe in Dartmouth. So the plan now is to pop in, go and try and find Brad, grab ourselves a coffee and have a quick chat about the servicing of this new Brig Eagle 8. So this is the 20-hour service of the Suzuki 350 DuoProp that will be on the back of the boat. So we'll speak to Brad, speak to Andy back in Salcombe, have a look at the service on this boat, and then obviously what the next steps are for servicing this Eagle 8 as time goes on. Here at the Wolf Rock Boat Company, we obviously do service all sorts of boats. So if you're interested in speaking to a member of the team, then get in contact and talk to them about servicing your boat with the Wolf Rock. So like I said, we're picking this boat up in Dartmouth with Brad. We're going to take it back round, get it serviced and have a little look at what that looks like. So come with us. So coming into Dartmouth and we were greeted by this amazing sight, a £70 million super yacht. What a vessel that is. Not quite a Brig Eagle 8 though, eh?
Hello and welcome to Dartmouth this time. It's Brad here, just the Wolf Rock Boat Company. Adam's just tying up. He's just made himself away around from Salcombe just to come and meet me here. We're going to be travelling back to Salcombe in convoy where you'll see a few shots. We are collecting this customer's Eagle 8. It's racked up to 20 hours, so we are doing its 20-hour first service. We do offer a launch and recovery for these facilities, so if you do have a boat here in Dartmouth, more than happy to be able to arrange that with yourselves. But in the meantime, we'll catch up in Salcombe and we'll run through all the servicing that will be taking part.
Hi guys, welcome back to the DuoProp Boat Company. Today I'm working on an Eagle 8. The guys have brought it around from Dartmouth this morning. You'll see on the video prior to this, and they brought it in for its first service. We've just cleaned it off. It's been over in the harbour area, giving it a good clean on the bottom, which is great. And then we're going to do a first service on this engine. And they've been a 350 Suzuki. This is a 20-hour service or 1 month, whichever comes sooner. And basically what it is oils. We're doing an engine oil change, we're going to do an oil filter, we're going to do a gearbox oil change as well. What I'm going to do as well is generally when these boats come to us for the first service, I tend to look a little bit further. I tend to do, check everything else out, the steering, any electronics and stuff like that with it, check its trim, check any of those things as well, and also grease the points so we know that this engine is ready to go for this season. After this then, it's going to be the 100-hour service, okay? So then once the year it comes from now, that will be its 100-hour annual service. That will be a full service. If you go on to page 60 on your book that you get with your engine, your owner's manual, page 20, if you go on to that, you'll see everything that's written down that's needed for your Suzuki servicing engines. So everything from the 100 to the 200 to 300-hour service is all put there. It will show you what needs to be inspected, what needs to be changed, and what is part of each of the service, okay? You've got to make sure you keep up that service schedule, otherwise you don't have warranty on your engines, okay, guys? So we're going to make a start on this Suzuki. Let's get the oils draining, and let's get this thing first serviced. Okay, guys, oil filter. This is going to be changed as part of the first service too. Bit of a hack. Take the lid of the oil filter box, pop it in place. Okie doke. This engine's just been run around from Dartmouth, so it's quite warm. This engine oil is very thin right now. Okay, great way to service an engine once it's been run. The oil's nice and less viscous, as it were. So it literally comes out the engine a lot easier. Okay, so our engine is drained of oil. We're going to be putting the drain screw back in. Okay, so there's a new washer onto here. We're going back in. And then we'll tighten that one up in a minute. It's a torque wrench setting on that one, which is great. Then we're going to change the oil filter, and then let's get some engine oil into this thing. Just as an example, with the Suzukis, especially this one, that's your engine oil. You can see how black that is. Okay, that's used engine oil. This is a break-in oil that Suzuki put into these engines from new. Okay, so this engine's come straight from Japan onto the back of this boat. The engine oil is a break-in oil, so it's like almost a run-in oil. So that's one of the reasons why it's so specific that we do change the engine oils on these engines, because of the fact that it is done its purpose. It's got to 20 hours and now it's got to be changed for the correct grade of oil for your engine to then carry on for the future. So then we can go on to the time when now your engine's been run in, broken in, you can go out there and use it like you want to, okay? Okay, so here, draining the gear oil. With these Generation 2 gearboxes, they have a slightly different position on the water intake. Behind that water intake is the drain screw for the gearbox. Also, we take out the top screw here. There's an oil level here, but there's been a bulletin on the Suzuki outboard engines on the Generation 2 Suzuki 350 counter-rotation gearbox. This is where the gear oil is filled to. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll let it drain, completely empty this gearbox of oil. When we refill it, it'll spill out of this hole. The bulletin is now asked that we spill out of that hole instead of the original oil level hole, purely to raise the level of the gearbox volume so we don't have any problems with it in the future. But that's draining. In a minute we're going to get ourselves all cleaned up. Once this is drained, we're going to change the washers anywhere that needs to be done, and then we'll refill this engine with new gear oil and engine oil. Okay, this is the new oil filter. Always dispose of your waste correctly. We'll fill with oil around the oil filter. Purely up hand tight. Okay, so that's that sorted. Now we're going to get ourselves 8 litres of oil. With our filling tub, we're probably going to go 4 litres, then 4 litres, but we never quite give the full 8 litres. Okay, there's probably a little tiny bit of residual oil in this engine, so we're going to give it probably maybe 7.5 litres to see where we are. Then we're going to dip the engine, make sure the oil levels are good. The worst thing you can do with these engines is overfill them with oil. That's very bad. So here we go, we're filling up this gearbox. This takes around 3 litres of gear oil, this engine. So, yep, we'll just keep pumping until we get a spill out of this outlet here. And once we've done that, we allow it to settle for a minute, and then we can put the drain screws back in, and then this engine is pretty much first serviced. As our drain screws back in, we'll give them a knock, make sure they're nice and tight, and then we'll get this the grate back in, and yeah, let's get some diagnostics. Each of these engines have a grease nipple on them, especially for the midsection. So this is the pivot. Pump it with grease because that helps it obviously keep corrosion away from all the internals. Really, really important to keep grease in these engines. Also the C-Star electronic hydraulic steering also has grease points on them, so I pop some in those on both sides as well. And in a minute we'll turn the engine from port to starboard and gain access to the actual tilt bar grease points as well. This isn't on the Suzuki schedule, but I do it anyway as a matter of course. Okay guys, so just plugging into this engine. It's done 22 hours. So yeah, basically just taking a diagnostic report off of it. I want to see if anything's come up at all, which obviously it hasn't. It's come up with no fault on the MFG, which is great. So yeah, I'm just basically going to take a report on it, and I've got information of this engine from the first time we ever service it, which is always important whenever we service one of these Suzukis. That's the 20-hour service finished. Brad's about to put this thing back in the water and take it back round to Dartmouth. If you want your engine serviced in the same way I have, be it a first or a first annual service or whatever, give us a shout. We'll be able to look after you.
So that is the first service of a Suzuki 350 DuoProp. Thank you so much, Andy. I don't know about you guys, but I really have learned an awful lot from watching that video. Brad jumped onto the boat and took it back round to Dartmouth. What an amazing vessel that is. We've had a great day. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll speak to you very soon.